Okay, let's take a look at our Tesla daily recap of what happened today. We closed at 347.68. That's up $13.61. That we are up 4%. Post market, we seem to be up by a further 51 cents. So let's take a look at the facts and then let's see how we can profit from those facts. So, since the breakout, we broke out of 295 not too long ago. Since that breakout, well, last Friday, we have been continuing. This is the current channel we are in. This is a bullish channel. I need to tell you that this is a narrow channel. Narrow channels don't last as long as bigger channels. This one right here is bigger. Right here, this is a bigger channel. This was a smaller one, lasted not as long. So we should not be expecting this to last a super long time. Nobody knows how long this is going to last, but we know that it will not last forever because it is narrow. So at some point we should be seeing a little bit of a move down that can continue, leaving us with a bigger channel that might be a little bit less steep. So this is my bias. This is the bias I have, but until it happens, I don't want to speculate and get out of a position because eventually it will stop or slow down. I don't want to do that. It's easy to speculate. Oh, Tesla is going to be at this price at this date and time. Yeah, it's easy to speculate and nobody knows for sure. What we know is what we have in front of us. This is what we know. So we are continuing great. We are continuing great. And now what we are seeing is already the first sign of what I'm talking about. So we are seeing that we are starting to go outside of the channel. And we are going outside of the channel on the good side, which is on the resistance side, which means that the stock wants to go, based on today's move, wants to go even faster higher than what the channel has provided. So this is why we draw these lines, is that because we are looking at the support side of the channel, the resistance side of the channel, and this is giving us the rate of ascent. This is the rate of ascent of Tesla on average. This is the rate of ascent. And now that rate of ascent is not enough. So Tesla is starting to go even faster higher. So this is the best case scenario of not respecting a channel. The worst case scenario is that when we break on the support side, which means that we are going slower than the speed at which we were going, but now we have a faster move, at least based on today's candle. So this is only one candle. As I often say, one candle does not make a trend. So we'll see what is going to happen, but this is for sure a good sign that we are seeing right now. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart to understand in more details how things happened. So the first channel of the day is right here. So first hour of the day, we closed higher than 335.59. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a move down. We had some problems with that same 335.59. We broke it just ever so slightly, then we caved into it. But no, this morning, boom, we just broke 335.59. Stayed there the second hour, and then the third hour on, then look at this again. We are testing our resistances. If you don't believe, or if you have a friend that does not believe in technical analysis, just have him look at this right here. So from the third hour on, and the third hour, the high of the third hour is at 350. Boom, trying 350, trying 350, trying 350, trying again. Look at this. This is just perfection right here. Perfection. And on the last half hour, just a little bit lower. So This is an accumulation that is happening right here. So I explained it this week. So each time we have a stock, that stays under a specific number and then breaches it, this is another opportunity to get into that stock. So if you are not in anymore, you can get in. If you are in, then you can just add to your position, because this is another indication that there is a change in the market, a smaller change right here, because this is on a smaller time frame. But this is an indication that we had some buyers that did not want to pay, or that did not have to pay higher than 350 to get a Tesla share. And then at some point, boom, if it crosses above 350, this will mean that from that point on, they had to pay higher. So again, something changed in the market, something significant enough that we can use that as information, as a trigger to add into our position. So this is fantastic. Let's just write this one. Let's just write it until we see some signs that we get maybe overexcited. This can happen. If we start going vertical, then at that point I am going to think, okay, at some point I will want to take profit, because when things go vertical, there's a greater possibility that they come back down. If things are just very slowly moving up, then we can see a move down. We tend to be able to see a potential change in direction. So if we go super high, super fast, I might decide myself, you can decide something else, but I might decide myself to take profit. Yeah, so we had such moves in Tesla before. We had such moves. If we go back to 2023, this is in January, so this was pretty steep, and then we stabilized and came down. Another pretty steep move, we stabilized, continued. This one we continued. So sometimes you see a bit of a move down and you sell part of it, and then you leave some of it in there to see if we are not going higher. So there are plenty of different ways of doing things. You can share in the comment below what you plan to do, so this will help everybody. But anyway, right now this is fantastic. We are just happy, and we are looking at our bank account grow. Let's take a look at the rest of the market to see if the whole market is moving in sync. It's always nice to have the whole market, the stock indices, the VIX, in sync with what is happening right here, and even the whole market, other stocks too. So let's take a look at the VIX. So when the VIX is high, stock market goes down. And we want VIX to be below 20, which we got this week, and we are very happy about this. So VIX is a little bit higher today, but overall, this is looking pretty good. So we are going sideways. We can argue that yesterday it went lower a little bit than where it went today. That's fine. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. So Dow Jones is also cooling down a little bit, down 0.21%. Nothing too spectacular. We are caving in under the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average right here. We crossed above. We closed above even on Monday. And now we are caving in just under. We are still above 41,826. And this is the current channel that we are in. And we have some resistance right here. So it's normal to have a little bit of a slowdown before we are encountering those resistances. Let's take a look at the SPX. SPX up 0.1%. So we are getting close to this resistance right here. So we have to check this, because we could be caving into this. And Nasdaq, this one is continuing 0.57%. we are starting to encounter this resistance right there. So if we start breaking this, this is going to be further indication that, you know, the market is really breaking new grounds, and this is important. If we just catch up, we had a move down since February right here. We had a move down. And this part right here was just, it was not reaching new ground or breaking new grounds. This was just coming back up to where we were not too long ago. But once we stop breaking resistance, then this is breaking new ground. So we like when we see this. Let me check. So this is NASDAQ. Let's now check Russell. So Russell, yeah, look at this. This is exactly what's supposed to happen. So Russell has a downward trend right here. It had another one right here, but it has a downward trend right here. And look at what's happening. We tried on Monday to go higher. We caved in. So this was the first cave in. Yesterday, we caved in before, and today we have a red candle caving in a little bit more than yesterday. So this is exactly what is supposed to happen. We don't know yet if we are going to just cool down a little bit and move higher. This is what we don't know yet. Once we have stochastic over 60, this is one way that we can have some indication, is that once we have stochastic over 60, any move down while stochastic remains over 60 should not be believed. So it's possible that we have a cool down right here, stochastic stays over 60, and then we could be having a bounce, then stochastic is going to recover, and maybe on that bounce we are going to break that resistance. So this remains to be seen. When we are getting close to resistance also is a place where you can take profit. You can take profit at resistance. This is the place where it makes the most sense, because this is what a resistance means. The price is going to encounter some hardships and maybe is going to come back down later. So maybe you want to take profit at resistance, but also you also need to take into account stochastic over 60, as I said, because once you have a stock reverting on a resistance, if stochastic is still there, most likely that move down in the stock is temporary and the stock should recover. So this is how things should work. They don't work like this all the time. Nothing works 100% of the time. If you want security and if you want something foolproof, you need to put your money in the bank. If you want greater returns and greater returns, then you can look at riskier way of investing your money or trading, and the stock market is a riskier place, that's for sure, but we can manage risk. You can decide how much money you put in, and you can have criteria before buying anything anywhere at any point in time. If you buy a stock just because the company is great at any point in time, you might be buying at the wrong time. That happens. Buying Tesla in June of 2022 was the wrong time to buy it. It was the wrong time. Tesla had already told us, the stock had already told us, well, I am trending down, so I intend to continue down. So if you buy at that point, well, the rate of descent has already been decided. This is the rate of descent. So we could have told you, well, okay, if you buy at $300, we should be at around, this is an average right here, we should be at an average of 176 in May of 2024, if the trend stays like it is. And it stayed like it was. So using the same logic, the same trajectory, the same trend, we can say right now that if things stay the same trend-wise, which I have a little bit of doubt because this is a narrow bullish channel, but if the trend stays the same, we should be reaching 488 bucks, which is pretty much the all-time high in July. Because this is the rate of ascent. This is the rate of ascent. And if we go on the weekly chart, let me remove this a little bit. If we go on the weekly chart, we have the bigger bullish channel that Tesla is in. This bullish channel has worked well since 2020. This is the big channel we are in. So in 2020, Tesla was at a split adjusted 30 bucks, went up to 400 and something bucks, 415, came back down, jiggled a little bit, then came back up to that resistance right here, and now we seem to be on our way to retest. So retesting this weekly bullish channel means that we should be retesting this resistance right here, and I'm going to give you the number. Depending on when we reach it, if we reach it super fast, we are looking at 520. If we are reaching it slower, maybe in July of next year, we should be looking at 552. So for sure, when we are going to get close to 488 and 500, this is a super ultimate place to take profit. Like it was right here. We did not know it at the time, but like it was right here, this is a great place to get out, because we could be seeing some moves down because we are getting close to a resistance. And this is what a resistance means, is that sellers are no longer willing to buyers are no longer willing to buy higher. If buyers are really willing to buy higher, we are going to see it at the same time. So we can take profit here, as I say. We can take profit here. Ultimately, you can take profit before. You can do what you want. You do your own research. You make your own decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. But if you sell here and then it stabilizes and then it breaks it, then you can say, okay, I got my money. Now I'm going to reinvest it because now I have another accumulation right here. And then boom, we are crossing the resistance, signifying that something changed in the market. And you know what we do when something changes in the market? We join in. We follow the crowd, and then we can have another further move up. So this is basically what we are intending to do, or at least what I am intending to do. And on this channel, my responsibility that I gladly take is to draw the lines, and you can decide what kind of strategy you want to use. Let's take a quick look at the heat map of the market to see if everything is following the same steps. Not everything, Not everything. Technology services is pretty much green. You know, the big players are green. Electronic technology, big players are green. But lots of red, a lot more red than what we had yesterday. So that's interesting to see, and this is fueling our analysis. We need to know these things to see what could be happening with Tesla. And in terms of economic data, I think we got everything that we were going to get. We have on Thursday, we are going to get some PPI month over month and retail sales on Thursday that are coming out. Is that right? Yeah. And also on Friday, the building permits and housing and stuff like that. So great. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate links. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.